What happened to those silly Republicans, the GOP, a party of stout ideas and forward-thinking people that helped build this great nation into what it is today? But first, let's start with a few brief words on history and some of the people that started an ideology of government. The Republican Party is one of the two major contemporary political parties that got started in the United States. Along with the Democratic Party, is often called the GOP or the Grand Old Party. Founded in Ripon, Wisconsin in 1854 by the anti-slavery activists and modernizers, the Republican Party quickly surpassed the Whig Party as the principal opposition to the Democratic Party. It first came into power in 1860 with the election of Abraham Lincoln to the presidency, who presided over the American Civil War and the reconstruction of a nation torn in two by separatism, ill-thinking, and war. From Abraham Lincoln to the bipartisan Democrat John F. Kennedy to Ronald Reagan, generations of open-minded thinking and leadership that freed a people of slavery, that propelled the equal rights movements, that brought an end to the Cold War and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Proud moments in history that bring together the nations and their people that can now breathe a sigh of relief from the fear of mutual destruction. Proud moments in history of the rights of a people that can now vote and pursue an education. Proud moments in history where such nations and their people can come together in the name of science and technologies that has placed a space station in orbit around our home, the Earth, and has explored the planets in our solar system in spectacular clarity. Proud moments in the history over the preservation of our rights as a nation, where the people's rights to bear arms, the freedom of speech, and where the Constitution and its First Amendment, the Bill of Rights, is cherished and revered. And it's all sculpted by the hands of the Republican Party, the GOP. So what the hell happened over the past 8 years? I think I have the answer. Religion. Yes, religion is a foul injection of Christianity into the Republican Party. Yes, the Republican Party has been hijacked by narrow-minded religious zealots that has hammered religious dogma into the heart of government and is propelling it backwards to an age-old time of the monarchies. Religion is the small end of a wedge that divides the free thinking and the intelligence, the sciences, and that is the engine that propels us forward, not as the number one power of the world, but an economic model to boot. On the other side of this poison wedge is ignorance, intolerance, and the ever-present ass-pounding of religion and a fairy tale into the rectum of this great nation that believes that there is an invisible man that lives in the sky and is no doubt the cosmic puppeteer of the stupid. When former Republican governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, an ordained Southern Baptist minister, Alaskan Governor Sarah Palin and runner-up for the vice presidency in 2008, the 41st President of the United States, George H. Bush, and his son, the 43rd President, George W. Bush, and this is just to mention a small cross-section of the religious right, all do not believe in evolution and think this grandiose Jewish fairy tale is real. George W. Bush has stated several times on national television that he believes God wants all men to be free, and this is what he bases his foreign policies on. He bases his foreign policies on the notion that he knows the wants and the wishes of this cosmic Geppetto. What the hell? These are the people that run this great nation. These are the powers that be that make the decision that affect the present and the future, not only the United States, but the world at large. Just look at the last 8 years, an invasion and occupation of a sovereign nation that has affected the lives of millions of people on both sides of the fence. The gross national debt is now over $53 trillion. That's 53 decimal point followed by 12 zeros and is growing by approximately $1 trillion a year. The national trade deficit is around $1.2 trillion. It's also growing. In the last 2 years, the economy and housing market has crashed. And as of February 2009, over 600,000 jobs, that's 7 million in the last 2 years, has been lost, skyrocketing the unemployment rate on an average over 10%, and in some places up to 17%, greatly affecting and plummeting the world's economy into a downward spiral. No doubt the Republican Party has become a twisted caricature of itself and is definitely on the wrong path. The religious lunatic fringe of the religious right must be pointed out for what it is, a tumor and a festering growth on the ass cheek of this nation and the world at large. Yes, it is good that religion is a wedge, so that it can isolate itself and it can be pointed out and recognized for what it is. Ignorant, bigoted, lying, grossly self-serving, egomaniacal, and is a twisted fairy tale that needs a good boot out of politics and government. So if you're on the lunatic fringe, the religious right, the bad finger to you. Have a great day. You like the shirt?